Thanks for staying with us. Before we do special package, we'll start with the Black Lives Matter story. So in the past couple of weeks, the world watched literally as footage is surfaced of not one, but many young African Americans and women, men and women actually, that were killed by police in highly controversial circumstances. Black people abroad are worried that Africans are not getting involved in supporting or talking about what's affecting them. Now, there was a video that went viral. Actually, two videos. Two ladies were talking. One was directly to Nigerians, another was generally to Africans. And what they were saying is that they haven't heard Africans say anything on this matter. It's almost as if we don't care, or yes, we have our own issues, but we don't understand what their plights are. And that bothers them. So today we'll be talking about what are your thoughts on what African Americans are going through. And those of you that are watching us from abroad, we'd like you to also call us in and tell us what you think we can do here to support your cause over there. What would you like Africans to do more on our part to support what you're facing over there? You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YobiTVC so we can read the tweets. Okay, Waike, I'd like you to go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Africans. When she was, the videos, they were not directing it at the populace. They were directing it, she was directing it to the government. That's the one that was calm, not the one that was angry. She was directing it to the governments that where is the invitation to African Americans to come home? Oh. You know, why are you all just silent on us? You are not concerned. She wasn't talking to the people, she was talking to the governments. Because the governments really have not said anything. At all. Apart from the Ghanaian president who has given an open invitation to African Americans. And in fact, if you go to Ghana, you see a lot of African Americans in Ghana because they welcome them. Here, I want to just explain why we are like that. In Nigerians or Africans in the diaspora, they do not understand what the African Americans have been through. They don't understand what the Black Americans have been through because they are like, you will come from Nigeria, you have suffered your own in Nigeria, you have just got visa, you are there now. Now you are going to go there and work. When you see the racism go, you will not even understand it. You just, let me just face, when they say racism, you just say, yes, sir, I just want to collect my dollars. You collect your dollars, and then you start building your house in Nigeria. So any small thing, Pram, you are back here. I know many people who have houses, who live in America, who have houses, who have built houses, who have used their money, so they have somewhere to go. So the question, I hear you, Waike, you're very correct. So we, Nigerians or Africans living abroad, have that escape to come home. But the African Americans are saying they've been facing racial discrimination for years. They use the George Floyd. It's a fact.
It's a fact. So George Floyd's death is being used now as that opportunity for a lot. They're hoping for a quick reversal and some kind of a landmark change to happen so that African Americans can live more equitable lives in their country. However, our focus today is what should be Africans' contribution to what they're going through there. Should we start going to the streets to protest? What do we do? Do we overlook what we're going through here in Nigeria and say, no, let's go on? What exactly are we supposed to do? And I'd like people to call us in because when I saw that video, it touched me as a person, as an African. I said, I wish I could help you, but I don't know how to help you. So you can call us and tell us exactly how you want us to support you. Yeah.
So the issue of racism is deep in the American culture.
Certainly.
And it's not because I know that from the 1960s, they were given the freedom to, vote, but that structural racism was embedded in their system, and every of their system from layer to layer is there to protect the whites above the blacks. They don't see them as equal. And bringing it to what we can do here, I think it would be unfair to say that we are keeping quiet. You would, if you want to support somebody, you come in from a place of strength. I don't see Nigeria as a country that can tell America, this is how you treat the Black Americans, because we don't have that economic power to do that. What we can do is to appeal to the government of America to say that you need to treat everybody equally. You've been giving us stories that America is a free country. Anybody can come and survive in America. If you cannot make it in America, you cannot make it anywhere else. We need to see you start putting that in practice in the way you treat your people, because the truth is those black Americans are Americans. They're actually Americans. They were taken there by force. It was not what they planned for, unlike those of us who go there to work, that we know we have a choice. They don't have a choice.
So I agree with this. So we don't have the economic power, obviously, to demand anything from Trump at this time anyway.
Yeah.
But I think what Waike was saying is, okay, we don't need to demand to the government. What are we doing to the African Americans? Just like Ghana is inviting them. What can we do? I know the chairman of Nigerian in the Diaspora Commission, Bikadabri, was trying to find, was working on a program to bring them home, you know, to show them where slavery started in Badagry, you know, where the slave trade happened, and trying to see if they can begin to support them economically, to begin structures within Africa. These are things that we can begin to do and look at. Let me take this call. I think it's Olusegun. I'll come to you, BC. Olusegun, are you there?
I'm there. Good morning, Mariah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. You see, good morning, Waike. How are you?
Good morning.
Okay. You see, I'm a project. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also a project of this Black Lives Matter. Okay, now, my father was working in Nigeria before he went to London, for example. Now, can you hear me?
It's a bit blurry. We can't really hear you. The sound is muffled. I do apologize. Okay, so
I can't hear.
You're going to say something before?
Yes, I was going to say that, you know, I want to say, let's not just be in a hurry to say, come home. We want to make this available for you, want to make that available for you. The people that you have here, what have you made available for them? You know, we're still struggling in a lot of ways. We still don't have the basics in a lot of ways. The population here, we are still the headquarters of poverty. So if you invite them to come here, what are you going to do for them? Right. They are used to 24 hours power supply there. They won't have it here. So are you bringing them to come and suffer? Let's not be in a hurry to say, let's invite them, come home and all of that. We can bring them in to show them, and we need to, you know, see, we need to settle our home first. When we settle our home, then we are equipped to extend our hands and say, okay, our people, oh, you can start coming home. Let's not be in a hurry to just...
Can I say something?
I don't know.
Can I say something here? I know that you are not settled. I'm 59 years old. From the day I was born in this country, we have not been settled. I don't think, and I'm not being pessimistic, that we are even, I don't even see that we are on the road
to settlement.
Yes. I can't see it.
Yes.
And I pray that in my lifetime, I will even see some semblance of settlement, because I have seen Nigeria go from bad to worse. So, to say...
let's wait for the El Dorado or something.
There is nothing that you are waiting for. You are not waiting for anything. And I know that you don't have the economic power to tell America, hey, look, stop that. But you do have the voice to say, I disapprove of racism in America. You have that voice.
We're not using it.
As a Nigerian, as an African, as Africans, the governments can say, come on, the way you are treating black people in America is wrong. You're keeping quiet. You're keeping quiet because you are afraid. So the racism has now washed over you in Africa too.
Okay, let me take this call. Olani, are you there? Good morning, are you there, Olani?
Yes, I'm here, yeah.
Please go ahead, you're live. You're live, go ahead, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Very
I can hear you.
Okay, because I'm not hearing myself on the program.
You don't have to hear yourself.
It's a 5 minutes delayed, so please go ahead and speak.
Okay, good morning. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. Listening to what you talked about in terms of Nigerians not contributing or not saying anything, from my experience, even with being in the U.S. at some point, part of the issue is the fact that even the black Americans don't even like us as a people. So we even as black people, as black Africans, you understand, we're always very careful of who they are, even around them in the U.S., you know. But again, I think they have a feeling that when we don't care, we care. Every life matters, whether it's a black person, whether it's a white person. Yeah, we understand discrimination. I went through discrimination even in the U.S., all right? So the discrimination does not relate to only the black Americans or the African Americans.
Lani, do you live in America?
He lived. He said he lived.
I'm in Lagos here right now.
All right. Okay.
You understand?
Thanks.
So the problem, you understand, is not necessarily because we don't care. We do care, all right? We feel their plight, you understand? You know, and people are actually advocating here. It might not be as much because we have our own issues, like you have said in the program, but we care because lives generally matter.
All right. The reason I wanted to respond to him because I can't categorically say every Nigerian got this talk, but a lot of Nigerians that travel abroad got this talk from their family, where they will sit you down and tell you, you are going there. Don't go and talk to those black Americans. Though. You just go and get pregnant. You get into drugs. You become gang banging. They give you that talk. That just go to the white community, find a nice place. They just go and be decent. Stay with the white people. They give you that talk. So when you enter America, you already have a perception of African Americans. You judge them. And of course, they can see that judgment in your behavior towards them. And they see how you are almost like yes, massa to the Oyinbos. They see, they're not blind. So when they have that feeling of, when they become defensive, when you're in their presence, it's because they see that perception you have of them. So I know I got that talk. And a lot of Nigerians got that talk. So we are over there, we are doing well, we are doctors, we are building houses, we are feeling like, yeah, so we come to the land of the living, we are the land of the plenty, and we are doing well. Forgetting that some people sacrificed for you to even go there in the first place. So is that acknowledgement that the African-American community are expecting of us, especially those of us living abroad in America?
Okay. Can I say something? I
wanted to answer you. Because let's not forget that you cannot give what you don't have. In our society, we are racists. When racism, when we see white people, we worship them. When you have an organization and they come in to either look for a job or they are working there, you see the way your people behave towards them. They don't give their people the same respect that they give to the white person. So people that already have that mindset that the white is better will go and be fighting for somebody else. It's not possible. Charity begins at home. May I quickly land that the only way this can stop, where we believe that everybody is equal, is if we take down that image that is a white man that is God. That's the only way. I am telling you.
Don't go there.
It's an image that human beings have created. Nobody has seen God. Human beings have created that image, and as long as you keep seeing an elderly man with long beard and he's white, you will always have it at your subconscious that the white is better than the black.
Point taken. Let me
Can I just want to talk for Africans now. Don't beat her. She's not lying.
Okay, I'm not beating her. Why are you putting her?
You saw her, she was beating me.
I know, she was beating her. Don't beat her. She's not lying. You see, Africans, we were colonized. That's why I never say the colonial masters, because they're not my masters. They are colonialists. They came here and they colonized us. They made us be submissive to them. Yeah. We are submissive. They brought their culture that we don't understand. They told us Mungo Park discovered River Niger, forgetting that it is their own history. It's history for themselves. Here, we don't teach our own history.
Wait, quickly, do you know where River Niger is? Behind my house. I know the end of River Niger. Behind my house. So my villagers knew the end of River Niger.
Then they will now tell me that Mungo Park. My father had a song, he said, how can Mungo Park discover River Niger for the people that were living there? He discovered it for them, not for us. But that is the history that we will learn.
Yeah.
Right.
So already we are in a position of the Oyinbo has escaped me for now, but we are low. We are in a position of servitude already. Now your American brothers and sisters that are there, they are in the same, black Americans, they're in the same position, but they are, the Oyimbos go are their masters. And you cannot get anywhere. And when you try to be independent, they burn you down like they did Tulsa. When the black Americans, what they did was they killed them.
I have to go on the break.
We can't finish this topic yet.
No, we'll come back. When we come back, we'll try to take calls, especially tweets, and I'm sure we'll have tweets by now. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this issue of what can Africans here in Africa do to support their Black Americans in the U.S., especially during this very crucial time in our history, in their history. Yes, let's
Mr. Adebayo says, systemic racism and corruption are the bane of the African society. This was handed to us from the colonial era, and without us purging our system of such, we are heading to nowhere. Africa needs to wake up and be responsible for their well-being. Yinka Akib says, it's hypocritical for any Nigerian to be condemning America when they are quiet about police brutality in Nigeria, when they are quiet about racism in Nigeria. Mr. Adebayo also says, we have to keep talking about racism and clamor for the status of slave traders to be relegated to the museum of shame and not for public display. Our history can only be told by us and not by those who put us in the situation, and it's still ongoing. We have to teach these things in schools and let our children learn history in schools to understand what and how racism works. It may not be well pronounced, but racism is rife abroad, especially those countries that pretend to play big brothers to others.
I want to take one because I want to answer him from Babanla. He says, before I forget, tell the African Americans to stop resisting arrest and respect the cops. How hard is that? First and foremost, they do not resist arrest. George Floyd did not resist arrest before they killed him. One. Now, the guy that they just killed, yesterday I watched it, they showed pictures of him. They showed pictures of him. They showed for 40 minutes, 44 minutes, they were interviewed, and this guy was as polite as anything. And the law in America says before you handcuff somebody, they will tell you that I have to handcuff you. They went behind him. That was when he now resisted. For 44 minutes, they woke him up. Then he was running, and they shot him in the back. That's not resistance. If you are running, you are not resisting arrest. Now, let us just be thanking God that we are not in that position. And about the police brutality?
Let me pause you for a second, YK, because I have Abike Dabiri on the phone right now. She'd like to...
Madam.
Good morning, madam. Are you there? Ooh, we just lost her. We have to...
So you wanted to
I'm trying to get her because we believe that Nigeria have probably done something. We're hoping that she can tell us exactly what Nigeria has done so far to support the African-American community. Yes.
Yeah, so I was just helping to buttress. You see, so when already you have this, the Oyinbo is your
Master.
God. As you don't know that you are...
As it is.
You don't know that it's happening. Because that is why yellow girls, that's why people bleach.
Yeah, so...
Because...
Okay, let me play the devil's.
You don't even know that psychologically you have been tuned to think white is better.
Let me play the devil's advocate here for a moment, because if you talk to some people in certain circles, they'll tell you that all the major inventions of the world have been by the white person.
How come?
A lot of the technology we're using today, the clothes we're wearing, every single thing that we see around us are things created by the white man, that whether we like to talk about it or not talk about it, subconsciously we do know somewhere that this race is superior to the African American. I'm just playing the...
I know you are playing the devil's advocate. And I want to quickly, before you go further with this perception, let me bring you back to reality.
Okay, yes, please. I'm waiting.
When the first white man came into Benin Kingdom, he was amazed at the civilization that he saw. The white streets that he saw, they went and they replicated it in their country. What they did, because Africans are very hospitable people.
Yes.
They welcome you no matter who you are. Just come. So they welcomed them. And what they did, today you still go to the British Museum and see what they stole from the Benin Kingdom. The valuable artifacts that they stole.
Even history told us that civilization...
They are still there. I went there 2 years ago. They are still there. They have not returned nothing.
Civilization.
Notre Dame. That museum, Notre Dame, I think it is in France. The same thing. Not culture, everything.
Civilization started from Africa, even their history. And what did they do at the end of the day? They realized that these people had a certain form of unity, and the only way they could break them was spiritual. Once you tell them that this is superior to this, they will forget everything about it, and then you can come in. It was a plan to ensure that they keep us inferior to them. And this is embedded even in the cartoons that our children watch.
We've said we know all these things.
We don't.
Our question, therefore, is how do we go above that? Because the truth is that imagine if Africa has been a global power today, it will give the African Americans in America the impetus to say, you know what, we are not taking this anymore, we're coming home, because Africa has brought its own, but Africa hasn't. In the last 50 years, 100 years, we haven't.
You need leaders that have sense.
So it's time to come, let us tell the truth ourselves. So we also have not empowered ourselves.
If your leader still sees Oyibo and you'll be doing yes, sir.
There's
yes,
nothing
sir.
that can happen.
There is nothing. Because once your leader is saying yes, sir, you will be saying yes, sir.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line.
I think we have Abike Dabiri in the studio now. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
Good morning, ladies of the view.
Good to have you.
Good morning.
So we've been talking about this issue of hashtag Black Lives Matter, and especially our focus is what do African Americans expect of us in Africa to show support for them? Because we saw a few videos trending saying that we've been quiet. We heard that the president in Ghana was given an open invitation. I knew you were working on something similar, but it's good that you're on the show now to tell us exactly, has Nigeria officially responded or given any kind of support to the Black community in America?
Well, I don't know what you mean by officially, but the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, along with the Nigerian Council for Arts and Culture, we actually had a very emotional event just a few days ago, where we honored, which we held in memory of George Floyd and every Black person that has been racially discriminated against. And our message was very clear. While we're not getting involved in American politics, we're saying that, you know, as long as you are a Black person anywhere in the world, and the African continent remains the way it is, the world will continue to look down on you as a Black person. And yes, you've mentioned the fact that we have something in Badagry, the door of return. You see, here's the message. One of my ladies there said something about before you invite them to come, what are you giving? That's not the point. The point really is this. They want to know their history. You see, there are a lot of things we take for granted here. They want to know where they're coming from. And Nigeria has extended a hand of open door to them. Now, what we did in Badagry is like connecting them spiritually, physically, emotionally, and economically to their roots. It's a very emotional event. The key thing is, I don't think it's right to say that Africa has not opened their door. We have opened our doors to them, and they are coming. Maybe we're not publicizing it enough, but they are coming. A group has come for the third time to Lagos, to Nigeria, to Abuja, to find out where they came from. So really, we are taking a lot of things for granted. But I agree with you that Africa needs to do more. But we're at that stage where we're saying, you say, come home, this is your motherland. Come to the continent. It's not a perfect continent. Yes, when you come here, you don't have 24-hour electricity and all that. But they know that. But that's not stopping them from saying they want to know their roots. So yes, it's beginning to happen. And it's going to get better with African Americans coming to discover their roots.
Right.
It's a huge continent. Some are for Nigeria, some are for Ghana, some are for Senegal,
right.
some are for Gambia, but Africa is open to them.
Okay.
And I think that message is resonating amongst them.
I'm surprised this event you're talking about was not well publicized, because I didn't hear about it. And that my ears are to the ground for this kind of event. How come we didn't hear about it?
Well, maybe you didn't hear about it. Well, I wouldn't know why, but we started that event as just between me and somebody in Badagry. But as our last year, the Lagos State government got involved. We had about 50 from America. And if you didn't hear about it, maybe you hear about it more. We publicized it, but maybe not enough. But the thing is, it was a deep event. And in fact, for this year, we already have about 100 coming in October, but we have to cancel it because of COVID-19, but we still do a virtual event. So it's going to get better and bigger, and you'll be surprised how, I think that will be the biggest tourism event in Nigeria subsequently. We were in New York not too long ago. The interest is there, the passion. You can't imagine the passion. And I agree with you that African countries should do more at the presidential level to make them know that this is home. Exactly. And they need to connect with home.
Yes, that's what we want. Yes.
That's what we want to hear.
Yes, yes.
Okay, do you think coming to know their roots, first of all, coming to know their roots is different from coming to settle? And do you think even if they come to settle here, it's going to solve the problem of racism in America? Because the problem is within the systems of supremacy. when the whites believe that they are more supreme than any other color in their country or all over the world. We're still battling that form of racism here. So them coming to settle in Nigeria, is that going to solve the problem of racism, ma?
We can't solve the problem of racism in America. Just as America cannot solve the problems we are facing in Nigeria. What we're saying is that as a black person, first you want to even know where you came from. Our message is not settled immediately. I can give you 10 that have settled, actually. I can give you 10 that have actually settled back here. But we're not saying come and say, we're saying come and even know where you came from. So when they know, like those who came last year, are planning to come again this year. But for COVID-19, if you know where you're coming from, you can understand the challenges. And so when they come, I said they leave crying. Say, you mean this is what we went through. If you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to. And what I'm saying is that for African continent, as long as you're a black person, if you don't work together to build this continent, the world will continue to look down on you. We're not saying come and settle. We're saying come home and see where you're coming from in the first place.
Right.
Have a feel. I tell you that these things, we take these things for granted. When they come, they are crying.
Right.
They are saying, this is what we haven't known. And then you know what they say? Why haven't we done this a long time ago? So we're beginning to start that now. But like I said, it's not for us to deal with racism in America. We have our challenges here.
I have to let you go.
Come home and
I have to let you go, but I must ask this final question because I still need you. So you said at the presidential level we should do something. But don't you feel that we should get some kind of a statement? I mean, we mentioned it earlier that we don't have the economic power to tell America anything. Yeah. But can we at least show some kind of solidarity, aside from what you're doing, your commission is doing? Can that presidential level show some kind of solidarity to these people? Let them even know that Nigeria is behind them. Is that not possible?
Well, I've done it at my own level, and that's the much I can say. But I think first should be from the ministerial level.
Okay.
You know, the minister speaks for Nigeria as a whole.
Right.
But maybe that will come later, I don't know. But it should start from the ministerial level, and maybe from the ministerial level, the minister can advise, because the minister has to consider a lot of things before advising the president.
Right.
But we could do it at our level because we're in charge of the diaspora, and we also work with the historic African diaspora.
Right.
But I can't answer that question.
Okay.
With due respect, ma, I don't know if it's in your power to start to advise government to introduce the history of African people, the history of slave trade into our schools, so that the young children coming up will know about this slave trade, will know what happened, will know
the history before the history.
Not the history that they gave us that we sold ourselves, but the real history of how they beat us and carried us by force.
Okay.
So that we grow up proud, and then we know how to integrate with the Americans.
I think that history, we should even start by our own history. Even in Badagry, how many people have been there? We should start by knowing our
I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there.
It's because you are privileged now. How many students have been there? You are privileged. But I agree with you. But don't forget that this administration has brought back history to schools. Don't forget that for years there was not even history of your own country.
True.
The younger ones don't even know all these things about politics. How did we evolve? So history is back in Nigerian schools, thanks to the Buhari administration, and I'm sure the history will include the history of the slave trade.
All right,
so
we have to go.
history back in our schools is a positive development.
All right. Thank you so much, madam, for joining. It's always a pleasure having you. We're speaking with the chairman, Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we're moving on to other topics that concerns our ministry. Special package.
Why not?
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, thanks for staying with us. We have to wrap up on because we're seeing quite a bit of tweets on the Black Lives Matter talk. We'll talk about special package in a moment. But let's take a few tweets. People are actually tweeting a lot.
Jane Edmond, laugh out loud. Mariah doesn't like any scandalous topic. Haven't you noticed? Racism everywhere, shaking my head. Elisa, it says, can any African leader come out to beat his chest that there hasn't been military brutality in his nation? This was designed in the education left to us by the whites. African need African story. We need to organize a yearly program that will bring them near to Africa. Oyebamiji Adegbola says, our demands are better still, plea today is to end institutionalized racism and hyper-militarism in the United States. Must include a call to end the institutionalized racism of American foreign policy too. Do you want to take? I can go on. There are loads of tweets.
Andrew in Streetham says, Morayo, the veranda was an ancient Egyptian invention. It's mentioned in the British Museum. Algebra, a mathematical subject, is solving values of unknown quantity in Africa. The concept of having a bath started in Africa. They know the bath before.
And even the
Mr. Adebayo says,
even the Ifa,
for a long time, we have been subconsciously sleepwalking and accepting our inferiority tag. As Africans, we need leaders with clout, but corruption and butt licking will not let our leaders to make an African stand global issues. We are yet to start. And I want to finally say that if we want to break the chains of slavery, whether we are outside the country or we are in Africa, we need to start by changing our modes of education. We need to go back to the African education. We need to find what educating a community means. I remember growing up, we heard that the Africans, the Nigerians, the Igbos, the Yorubas, the different languages, they had their ways of education and they were already developing before they were colonized. So we need to go back to that. We still have the British education, we have the American education, we are living ourselves. We also need to take pride in our culture. How many of your children have English names? We don't take pride in our language. Somebody speaks with
Excuse me,
an Igbo
when you are
accent or
talking,
Yoruba accent, you say, she cannot even speak English. Excuse me.
When you are talking, let me just say something.
Okay.
Because when I always talk about Africanness
Culture.
and I talk about the wigs, it's not because I hate wig. It's not because you don't look beautiful.
I know.
It is because I am saying portray yourself as African. Let when the white man looks at you, let him know you are proud and you know who you are. And you are looking down on him. Hold on. Who the F are you, man? I'm African. I didn't say anything down. I said F. F can be father. Who the father are you?
Okay.
What?
All right, okay, no problem.
See me like this.
we
I'm
need to go
African
back.
and proud. That is what we should teach our children.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I'm against blonde wigs.
yes.
I know the nonsense. Not because it's not beautiful. Not that when I see you in your blonde wig, where you don't look beautiful. You look beautiful. All I'm saying.
Don't reinforce.
We need to take pride.
Don't reinforce
in
that.
what is ours.
What they have taught us.
Gotcha.
And
Point
kept
take.
us down.
Point taken. Talking about African culture, talking about African beliefs. Ifa, there's a young girl going around talking about special package.
You can watch Your View on TVC every Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Nigerian time on DSTV channel 418, GoTV channel 27 and channel 47, Star Times channel 121 and channel 307, Play TV channel 801 and channel 190, UHF 49, Sky channel 515 for UK viewers. Watch live on Facebook at TVC Connect and on our website tvcentertainment.tv/livestream.